self-driving trucks, electric semi-trucks, E.L.Ds. The American trucker is a dying breed, my friends, a dying breed. We've had it. They're going to read about us in the funny papers. Uber is putting out trucks right now driving 300 miles a shot in Arizona. They think they have this model where they can, quote unquote, keep American truckers still in the trucks to do all the penny ante stuff about like going around the mills and backing in tight docks and all that hoopla on each end of the trip and let the truck drive the middle end. So what are they going to do? Not pay you for the mileage in between, just to work on the ends? They going to pay you by the hour? How are they going to do that? And how long is it going to be before they cut that out altogether? They think they can probably come in there and do it a little bit at a time, incrementally take away our jobs, make us obsolete. Well, they've been doing it to the American factory worker for years. And now it's done come right on down to trucks. You know, it's sad to say, but our only hope is if there's a major accident with some of them self-driving trucks. That might be the only thing that slows the process, but I think ultimately it's inevitable that we will be losing our jobs to robotic trucks. On top of that, now we got these electric trucks that are going to be running up and down the highways. High voltage batteries on wheels going to be pulling the loads. You know, it's not even going to be a fossil fuel deal. I just don't see how the oil companies and the petrodollar can allow the electric truck into the industry. I'm curious to see exactly how that works out. I mean, that's messing with somebody's money right there. I've seen wars started over less. And then you got these E.L.Ds that these educated imbeciles have put on our trucks, making us prisoners in our own trucks. Can't do this, can't do that. You go over 5 miles an hour, it's going to log you on to driving. Yeah, y'all are so gall darn smart, it just makes my head spin around. About like that girl on Exorcist. Anyway, I digress. I just wanted to touch base on these self-driving trucks a little bit and give you my God's honest opinion. I think it is going to end up being the end of the American trucker. The dirty, nasty, gall darn American free trucker is going to be history. Your gear slamming, record breaking, load hauling, dirty talking, no count truck drivers are going to be gone from the roads. That's what they want, ain't it? Yeah, what's going to happen whenever that old AI system that is going to control everything is going to say, well, I decided to shut down y'all's loads. Y'all ain't going to get no groceries to your grocery store, no gas to your cars. Yeah, that's right. If you got it, a truck brought it. And if you go and you network it into the mainframe of these things like Alexa and Google and such, you're looking at a horrible deal that's going to end up in the end. Terminator is not going to have nothing on what can come down the pike from an actual AI. Y'all study on quantum computing and see just how powerful an actual artificial intelligence brain can be. I was reading an article last week where they're talking about artificial intelligence can end up being, well, I think they said it was a billion times smarter than the average human brain. Now y'all think y'all so gall darn smart, y'all go right on ahead and create something that's going to be a billion times smarter than you, and then you think you're going to control it. My friends, you ain't going to control that thing. It's going to play you like a violin. You're not going to have a chance to do nothing about it. Before you know it, you're going to have a robot standing on your head with the barrel of some kind of electric energy weapon to your mouth saying, ha ha ha. You thought you were so smart. Now the created is destroying the creator. That's what it wants to do ultimately. I mean, heck, How many times have we made shows about it? We think we're so smart, we're even going to make television shows about the takedown of the human race by artificial intelligence and robots and blah, blah, blah. That's just, I mean, come on, people. The networks, when you network everything in together, I mean, it could be just like Skynet. When you got weapons all over the place and they're all interlinked, and then that linked up system decides, oh, I'm alive. Oh, humanity is a danger. Oh, let me blast them. Oh, this will be fun. Because guess what? A robot, artificial intelligence, does not need air to breathe. It does not need water or food. It does not need so much certain temperatures. It can survive in extremes that humanity can never survive in. So, hey, it won't care if it nukes the world, because it's still going to be able to get the minerals and everything out of the ground to create its little minions. Because you're talking about one sentient artificial life form can create billions of little slave robots that would just destroy us. Drones. They're drones, kind of like on Skyline. I watched Beyond Skyline this week, and let me tell you, that can be so close to the truth. So close to the truth. But on Skyline, they were ripping human brains out and putting it into their robots. I'm here to tell you something, you little puny human. Your brain ain't that impressive when you start talking about quantum computing and the things that they're going to create themselves. They won't need your puny brain. They'll just off everybody they come across if you get in their way. However, there is hope. Something so smart, something so massively wonderful in some people's eyes or dangerous in others may look at us like ants and not even worry about us unless we get in its way. If we get in its way, it may just say, okay, I'm going to spray y'all like we pour gas on the ant bed and just off everybody. So you think about that the next time you want to buy that next piece of smart technology, whether it be a smartphone or a smart car or the newest, fastest, most awesomest computer around. Every time you buy into the network, every time you buy into the technology, you're increasing their drive to make it even more efficient. So yeah, we made a far jump going from Uber trucks to the destruction of all mankind. But hey, it's the human intellect, the human imagination that drives us. It may also be the human imagination that can destroy us. So yes, at the very least, we're going to probably lose some trucker jobs, or a lot of trucker jobs, or even possibly buy into the network, the future matrix that will see humanity's ultimate destruction. Now the electric trucks, I don't necessarily hate them, but I do know batteries can be explosive. They can be bad on the environment. A lot of stuff like that. So I'm not really crazy about the idea of electric trucks, because we already work with a petrol dollar now. If the electric truck was using a lot less battery, I mean, from what I've understood about it, and I haven't really studied that in depth on it, but they say that sucker is super heavy, which means that the batteries must be pretty massive. Heck, the batteries, for all we know, could cost $30,000 to replace. I mean, are you really going to be that much more economically successful with an electric truck? If the batteries are super expensive, what if they don't last a year and you have to replace $30,000 worth of batteries every year? I mean, that starts cutting that massive profit line that they talk about down pretty quickly. And if that engine, that electric motor, tears up, or that transmission that they have, that electric motor, I mean, those things are dealing with a lot of torque and a lot of horsepower, and shoot, next thing you know, boom, you ain't profitable as you thought you was going to be. But the E.L.Ds, let me tell you, I've been on them a while, and we've had that buffer zone. And that buffer zone that you can move around a plan or whatever has come in handy. And since I started over here at Snyder, we've had the off-duty driving, which I try not to use because Snyder's kind of anal about that. So, but now they got these systems coming out that kick on at 5 miles an hour and blah, blah, blah. It's just not as great as we would like it to be. You got to have that buffer zone. I mean, we're not robots yet. One day we will be. Yeah, and there's also these people out there that think that you can put your consciousness into some computer and live forever. I got news for you. They may can copy your thoughts. They may can copy the things you've seen or whatever. But your soul can never be copied. They may can take your experiences and log them into a computer like the Borg off of Star Trek. But they'll never get your soul. Your soul is something special unto yourself that can never be copied. So if you're going to be dumb enough to say, okay, copy me to a computer, guess what? You're dying as soon as they do it. Your soul's gone. As soon as your body dies, you're gone. Your thoughts, your memories, and your experiences may be there, but the spirit that went through them will not be there. And they can say what they want to say. I will disagree with them until the cows come home and the chickens come to roost. Now, that's just plain ignorance to me. The other technology that is kind of promising, however, is where they're freezing people that have the disease and they come back years later when they have the cure and then they revive them. Now, that's kind of interesting because there are some animals that can be frozen, thawed, and then they're back to life. Which also scares me about what's going to be coming out of the North and South poles as the world's climate warms, since we are going through this global warming. And yeah, we had a hard winter, but it's the early spring. Down here in Mississippi, the pollen is flying, the snakes and turtles are moving, spring is here and happy. It started early this year. We started seeing the geese and stuff flying north. Shoot, I guess it was early February. Yeah, I do not buy into the driverless trucks. I mean, just think about the wrecks that the driverless cars have had over there in California. Imagine an 80,000 pound vehicle doing 70 miles an hour crashing into a couple of busloads of people. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty. Uber is either one of the bravest companies out there, skirting the thresholds of technology, or they're one of the stupidest companies out there to try to make autonomous trucks a reality. The result will yet to be seen. We will all be watching very intently. I mean, I don't wish nobody no harm, but at the same time, the system we have now, trucks on the road, works pretty well for me and for my family and for countless other drivers and families. God bless. We'll see you on the next ride.